10 Downing Street, the seat of the British Prime Minister and the venue for important talks on security in Europe, where Keir Starmer welcomed the Polish President today to discuss key issues.
Poland and Great Britain are close allies for decades, but it's not time for history. Now we are especially strong, and this strategic partnership is nowadays most important in the field of security.
The United Kingdom is an important ally of Poland. There is no shortage of pressing issues to discuss: Russian aggression, the war in Ukraine, the tense situation in Iran, and the United States security strategy for Europe.
There are so many issues in terms of Europe and world events that we need to discuss together. But we do that as like-minded countries that work together, respect each other, and want to build on that. And so it's a real privilege to welcome you here. You're very welcome.
Curbing Russian territorial ambitions requires close cooperation between allied countries. The British are helping to strengthen Europe's eastern flank. They support Poland in securing the eastern flank of the alliance. Last year, for example, British fighter jets were stationed for several months at the airbase in Malbork. British reconnaissance and patrol aircraft regularly fly over Poland, for example, to check what is happening in the Kaliningrad region, so this presence is visible. The Polish President and the British Prime Minister unanimously emphasised the importance of solidarity among allies in the face of the growing threat from the east. And these words have a real impact on the strengthening of our security. We talked about military cooperation between Poland and the United Kingdom. As we know, there are over 100 British soldiers in Poland. The United Kingdom also showed solidarity after the drone attack on the Polish border in September last year. This was the subject of our discussion. We also discussed cooperation between the Polish and UK arms industries. Strengthening military potential and diplomatic efforts are key to ensuring security in the region.
Karol Nawrocki
is the highest-ranking Polish politician on the international stage. His active diplomacy, including this visit to the United Kingdom, is very important and confirms the aspirations of the Polish president and the Polish people to play a more important role on the international stage, especially compared to what Poland's Prime Minister is doing. Karol Nawrocki is not a hostage to foreign interests. Whatever he does is unapologetically in the interests of Poland. President Karol Nawrocki also met Great Britain's Polish diaspora. Crowds gathered at the National Army Museum and the President addressed his countrymen saying, "You are ambassadors of Polishness." President Karol Nawrocki's meeting with the British Prime Minister takes place at a time when talks on security are being held amid intensifying Russian aggression. During a night attack on Odessa, the Polish consulate was among the targets. Another night of Russian terror. As a result of the night bombing, the Polish consulate in Odessa was damaged. None of our employees was injured. Russia has once again shown its hand. It carried out massive attacks on Kiev and Kharkiv. Among other things, a children's rehabilitation centre was targeted. There are fatalities and injuries. Apartment blocks, shops and entire neighbourhoods have been destroyed. The Kremlin also struck power plants to deprive people of heating. Russian attacks on infrastructure, especially energy infrastructure, occur cyclically, precisely in order to hit the civilian population and break the resistance of the Ukrainian state. Because Russia attacks on multiple axes simultaneously, this is its strategy. These are not just attacks on military infrastructure, but primarily attacks on civilian infrastructure. Ukraine is defending itself and waiting for the results of diplomatic efforts. Cooperation with the White House and President Trump is needed because this is the only way to actually force Putin to accept peace terms that are favourable both to the West and to Ukraine. Only strong Western alliances can stop Russian imperialism. Hence, President Karol Nawrocki's active approach to international diplomacy, which began in Washington with a meeting with US President Donald Trump. This was followed by Rome and a visit to Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, Vilnius, Riga, Helsinki, and now London. A strong alliance and a strong eastern flank are what guarantees peace in Europe.